Oh, it is recording. Anyway, this is another episode of Earth with Badges. My name is Sergio Willis. I am a writer. I'm an independent filmmaker, and also I write and produce my own comic book. And I decided a while back I was going to start a video series where I'm a nerd and I work in security. I thought it would be a really good idea to network with other people who are into law enforcement, military, security, who they we have badges and we're nerds. We're into comic books, video games, science fiction, nerdism, the whole nerd culture. So I think it's a community all in itself, and it'd be a really good idea for me to kind of overcome some social anxiety and network with other people. I think it's good to have a community, a sense of community. I'm also LGBT. I work within the LGBT community as well. I've worked for the Los Angeles Gay and Lesbian Center for 15 years now, and during that time, I've seen a lot of things kind of help me to deal with, well, just getting inspired. Uh, I guess let me think. I'm sure if you're watching this, I'm sure you know who the X-Men are. The X-Men, has always been a big part of my life in varying degrees. The comic book has changed a lot, but I mean, the whole thing about the X-Men, uh, they're all this oppressed minority, this group. And I think the LGBT community is like, it's the same thing. And even, being African American, being black, you're this different segment of the population. I mean, you're within the population, but at the same time, you're kind of, you're like an outsider. And I think that a lot of people that maybe feel like they're outsiders can relate to the whole X-Men. So all of that, and being in the LGBT center and just being here front and center and seeing all the stuff that's going on, being on the front lines, as they say, seeing stuff that's going on. And there's a lot of different parallels, I guess, a lot of different things that I can, I think I can see that there are a lot of things within the X-Men stories, metaphors, and even not just LGBT stuff, black, different races that may feel discrimination or, feel. I think we can relate to those elements within the X-Men. So being in the LGBT community, I think the X-Men is always, I think it's a big part. I think a lot of us like the X-Men because we can relate to that. And being here in the center, sometimes I feel like I'm in an X-Men comic book. I mean, nobody wears costumes and nobody's flying around with powers or anything. But there's a lot of political stuff going on. I mean, I don't know if you read the X-Men now. They done colonize Mars, and they don't die permanently. They can come back to life. They got their own like governments. They're apart from the United States. And I've often wondered myself. I hear a lot of stories about how uh, there was some incidents in the past where black people, we have created our own communities, and sometimes it didn't end well. And the X-Men, they they went off and formed their own to get away from all I guess the discrimination and the BS, knowing that they will never really be accepted. And sometimes I wonder, and I'm exploring that in some of my stories as well. That whole concept of not fitting in, and then just kind of realizing that you may need to just take yourself away, just form your own, you know. And I have a character villain that's actually going to be doing that, and so it's there are a lot of things that I think that even though the X-Men have gone in so many different directions, and it's just there's so many different things going on in the stories, it's kind of hard to keep up with a lot of the stuff now. I mean, Black Panther is the same thing. I mean, Black Panther just became like an intergalactic, you know, epic, kind of like space opera, and there's a lot of political stuff going on in the comic books that I can't keep up. I feel like you stop reading comic books, some of these comic books for a while, you go back and you're like, oh my God, it's just kind of hard to jump back in. But X-Men is still reader friendly. I find that it's it's not hard to you know understand what's happening. I refuse to read the 20 different X-Men books that are out there. But I mean, I started reading the comic books recently when they started giving a lot of they were bringing Storm back into the forefront, and I thought that was interesting. And they there's a big thing going on in the comic books right now with the X-Men and the Eternals and the Avengers. They're all fighting each other because the world found out that mutants can resurrect each other, and the public turned against the X-Men and all the mutants. And there was a bad guy behind the scenes that just kind of like fanned the flames to create more disharmony between mutants and humans. And then that actually created a war between the humans, between the mutants and the Eternals, because the Eternals are supposed to kill these. Basically, they're like mutant Eternals, and I guess they're saying that the X-Men have some of the genetic material in them that's related to the deviants that the Eternals are supposed to kill. That may or may not be completely true, but there is, all these things are coming at the X-Men. You got the humans don't like the X-Men, the Eternals don't like the X-Men and trying to kill them, and so the Avengers are just kind of like in the middle, trying to just basically play referee, and and I guess they have to intervene because a big war, is not going to be good for the planet, or the universe, the Eternals and the X-Men. And there's like, before there wasn't like millions of mutants, but now they're like literally millions of mutants because they're mutants that live on other planets. But yeah, there's a lot going on in the X-Men stories. So um, I see a lot of comparisons between what's going on in the world of the X-Men and within the LGBT community and the Black community. And I think that that is why, you know, that the X-Men will always be in my life to some degree. I mean, I'm just reading the storyline right now. I don't know if I'm going to continue. Just depends. I know that they made Nightcrawler all weird looking now, and it's a lot going on. I tend to gravitate more towards the magical characters like Doctor Strange, Juggernaut, Justice League, Dark. I've been reading a lot of a comic. It's called the Magic Order, and it's supposed to be developing that into a Netflix series, I believe. And I'm trying to think was another one. I like Spawn. I like the Wonder Woman, the more magical type characters. But every now and then I get drawn into the other stuff. Sometimes there'll be a crossover, and then I'll get interested in a character. I like Daredevil a lot, but Daredevil's not. I mean, he's a ninja, I guess. I like Moon Knight. I used to read Moon Knight. I like. I mean, Daredevil's a ninja. Like, this is Batman, so they kind of have magical nature, little mysticism going on there. I like characters like Swamp Thing, Man Thing, Werewolf by Night. I used to read Dracula, and I like Blade. I like Ghost Rider. Uh, so yeah, so that enough about that. I just kind of like went off on a tangent. I just really wanted to just introduce myself and what the whole concept of what I'm doing. So what I want to do is eventually have more people come on the show and talk more. I want to have guests, but this is all like it's still in the beginning stages. I'm learning a lot. You know, it's helping me to learn about how to interview people and how to talk to people, how to how to how do I say it? I mean, when you're doing a show, it's not just about talking to people and getting interviews and having guests, but it's also at the same time, I think you have to be. I mean, I play video games a lot, so I can talk about video games a lot. There's also other elements of the nerd culture, technology, and all that. There may be areas that I might not be that strong in, and I mean, bringing other people to actually uh, bounce ideas off of. To be like co-hosts, I guess. So my idea is to just build like something from all of this. Just build like a big foundation. Maybe what is the word I'm looking for? Like an empire. So, just other people that maybe feel that the same way that I do, that work in law enforcement, other security guards, cool people, nice people, people that, I would actually, could actually be friends with. And I think it's a social exercise for me as well, helping me to kind of come out of my shell from being, because I'm more of an introvert. Sometimes I think I'm not supposed to be. I mean, I'm more, maybe because of life experiences, I become more withdrawn, more shy, where I could be more outgoing. But sometimes when your environment can affect your personality. So yeah, Nerds with Badges, it was an idea that I just, decided I would just try something. And at the same time, I would continue to do my film and my comics and stuff. But this is a passion project for me. I mean, if I could get paid doing this, I mean, that would be really nice. I see a lot of content creators out there. I watch a lot of videos on YouTube, and I get inspiration. I get ideas. I see there's so much going on in the world, and I know I have a voice. I want to talk about things, and this is my platform that I've created for myself because I see other people doing it. And years ago, I started something called the Search the Files, which was just me talking about nerd stuff, video gameplay, doing, showing video gameplay and doing reviews and stuff. So I want to get back to that, but I want to do it on a bigger scale. So I started doing these little videos. I started TikTok recently. I don't know. I'm TikTok is just, I don't know. I guess I'll keep at it. I don't know. I mean, it's good for advertising. I mean, I guess, and networking, but yeah, I don't know. Facebook is good. Twitter is good. Instagram is good. I mean, all these things, but maybe 5 years from now, there'll be something different. But, being able to dialogue with people, there's always going to be that, you can always have that, that can evolve because YouTube is going to change. I mean, there may be something else coming along that might replace YouTube. Who knows? I mean, I mean, when MySpace was a big thing, and, but this is, I wanted to create this, this show. So I started doing little videos talking, and I actually I actually brought in a camera crew and a sound guy, and I did a really nice episode. I think it was last month, and I uploaded the episode, and man, it was so embarrassing because someone went and watched it. It's like an hour. We shot like almost 3 hours of, like maybe 2.5 hours of footage, and the guy that I hired, the camera person, the cinematographer, he cut it down to like an hour of footage, edited it, put in some music and stuff, some titles, put it on YouTube. And someone watched it and was like, dude, halfway in the episode, and I should have watched it myself, but I hadn't even gotten around to watching the whole thing. I um, was told that halfway in the episode there's no audio. So I go back and I watch the episode. Man, it was just like so devastating. I mean, I think it was like a slap in the face having something done, putting so much into it, and money and time and resources, and then and I went on YouTube and I actually cut the episode in half. So I've got like 28 minutes of dialogue, and everything is fine. And I don't know if at this point, if it's even worth it to go back and try to do something to save that episode. Just leave it as it is at 28 minutes. But man, it was just so frustrating. But I guess the lesson to me was that you don't always have to go big. You can just keep it simple. The whole concept is just me dialoguing with other like-minded individuals, talking about things, giving reviews, different things, just keeping everything open, just opening. It's a platform. So what I would wanted to talk about today before I went off on my almost 15-minute long tangent was Black Panther, because excuse me, I saw Black Panther over the weekend. I really enjoyed it. Initially, excuse me, And initially, I was gonna go see it with a friend, but I'm more of a solo movie person. So I went to see it by myself. I went to see it Monday. I was trying to go to the 11:30 showing at the Grove, but that I was waiting for the lift because I use Uber and Lyft a lot. I was waiting for the Lyft driver, and I don't know what happened. Like they were taking a long time, and then they canceled, and then I think they gave me another driver, and then that was taking forever. So I think I ended up catching an Uber instead. Because usually when I call Uber, it's like just like that. Lyft, it's always 50-50. I don't know what's going to happen when I get Lyft. Lately, the app has been really weird. But anyway, I ended up catching the 12:30 show. So I wasn't really sure what to expect. I figured there would probably be a nice amount of people there. And movies used to show at like 9 o'clock in the morning. Now they're just seems like opening week it might be like 11 o'clock, and then like the next week it just 12:30, 1 o'clock, these crazy times. And I work nights, so it's just difficult for me. So Monday's a good time. Mondays and Sundays are good days for me to do things since I get off Saturday in the morning and I sleep during the day. So Sunday I'm free, and then Monday during the day I'm free. I go back to work Monday night. So anyway, I got to the movie theater, and there was a lot of trailers, man. There's a lot of trailers. I mean, there's like I think there's about at least 20 minutes of trailers before the movie even starts. I don't even know why they do that. They say 12:30, but really they mean 1 o'clock because the movie didn't start until like around 1 o'clock. It was probably like at exactly 1 o'clock when the Black Panther just came on, and I don't think there was like any. Usually when the movies start, there's like some kind of credits or something, or the Marvel logo comes on, but it didn't. It just jumped right into like you know the movie. I wasn't even sure if you're watching the trailer, and it was heavy. I gotta say, it was a heavy movie because uh, Chadwick, he's gone. He's gone, but not gone. You know what I mean? Spiritually speaking, the man did an amazing job with the Black Panther, and I know it must have been difficult for Disney. The easy thing they could have done was just recast him, but I don't know that doing that so soon. So I guess they had to go ahead with this Black Panther and put it out in a decent amount of time. I guess it's been like maybe 5 years since the last movie, 4 or 5 years, it's like 2018. It's like, but anyway, uh, it wasn't it wasn't like depressing because that's what I was worried about. Like, would the tone be just like so when I mean they had the funeral. This is a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, I'm giving you a warning now because I'm giving spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, you might want to skip the next. I would say like the next, uh, well, probably the rest of the video. So they had the funeral. It was really like a celebration, which is, this it's nice when funerals are like that. It's not always just sad and depressing. There's some people when they die, it's like, make it a celebration, make it happy. You don't want people sitting around crying, just like, oh, like no, it's my life for the celebration. Be happy, just nice. Uh, so it was really beautiful, and Shuri was having a difficult time processing everything. I think she internalized a lot of anger. She was supposed to burn the some of his clothing as a symbol of her moving on, and she was having difficulty doing that. Uh, so they took her character. I mean, she went from being the happy-go-lucky person that she was in the first movie. She still can be jokey, humorous, but this series, just I guess they had to make her, and I guess she's the queen now. Uh, so yeah, I mean, it's so I guess it was good that Riri was there. Ironheart. She's a sister who created like her own like Iron Man type armor, and she also created something that could detect vibranium, which was the reason why the government, some bad people were trying to go into this location to get the vibranium. But vibranium is where I won't. It's not called Atlantis, but it's what it is. They call it Talokian or something like that. But it was this. They were going into the Namor Submariner's realm to get this vibranium and causing problems. So um, the Atlanteans, I keep want to call them Atlanteans. That's what they are. But they, the underwater people in Namor, they were gonna get Riri because she created this device, and I guess they wanted to kill her or whatever. And so Shuri want to go and protect Riri, and so they did that, and that brought them into conflict with the Atlanteans. So that was like the whole thing. So I mean, it got really bloody, it got really brutal, and for a Disney film, man, I tell you, the body count in this movie was something else. I mean, uh, yeah, Atlantis, they they so Riri, damn it, Shuri went and got Riri to protect her, but Atlanteans still got they still got Riri anyway, even though Shuri and I can't remember this. Gosh, I can't remember the name of the bald headed bodyguards. Oh my God, this is terrible. But anyway, Shuri basically failed protecting Riri, but she was taken by Namor, and she got a chance to like look at his world and everything, and just kind of get an understanding of his culture and where he was coming from. So they realize that they have something in common, but at the same time, it's like Shuri's not gonna just hand Riri over so that Namor can kill. So that led to like the big showdown because Namor and his people they don't wage war on Wakanda. And long story short, Shuri's mother, Black Panther's mother, ends up dying. She ends up getting killed, and so I mean, where else are you gonna go? But you raise the stakes. You kill the mom. So I mean, it was like, how do you forgive something like that? I mean, honestly. So it really escalated, and Shuri was forced to step up because her nation they needed a protector. They needed another Black Panther. So she was forced to step up into that mantle. She is a genius because she took a necklace, a bracelet that Namor gave her, and she was able to use some of that material to help her with her experiments in recreating the herb, the heart-shaped herb, which is the source of the Black Panther's powers. I guess it's the conduit between them and the spirit world or whatever. Because in the comic books, vibranium is actually it has a strong connection. It's really good at what is it? Doctor Doom was after it because it actually helps with magic or something. But anyway, I think they got rid of it in the comic books now that I think about it. Oh my! Anyway, I went off again. So anyway, they recreated the heart-shaped herb, and Shuri was able to get powers. Is interested, and Namor actually inadvertently created the next Black Panther. And they had a big fight and everything. Shuri. It's like she can fight really good all of a sudden because she's got the heart-shaped herb, and she's got like martial arts skills and stuff. I mean, I guess it could be I guess it could be believable that she may have got some kind of training, since T'Challa was her brother, and a lot of times sisters, even though they're maybe not really roughhousing with their brothers, maybe but they could still learn some things. Maybe they're watching, and maybe they learn some things from their brothers, so they can protect themselves. So I can believe it, but I mean, yeah, she but I mean, yeah, she opened up a can on Namor's ass. And Namor is one of my favorite characters in the Marvel universe. I mean, he's like Aquaman. He swims in the water. He's really strong, and he's an X-Men character. he he wasn't. He's on and off an X-Men character. I mean, he's a mutant. He works with the X-Men sometimes. Then he's with the X-Men sometimes. Uh, Namor is a complicated character in the comic books because sometimes I think they don't know what to do with him. Sometimes he's a hero, sometimes he's a bad guy. But him and Shuri had to come to an understanding, and I think Shuri realized that she had to let go of her anger because she couldn't become like Killmonger, just full of rage and anger and hate. So she was able to. She just had a transformation, a transformative moment where she could have killed Namor, but spirit of her mother appeared, and she had her epiphany. So I guess going forward, they're gonna have to like come to terms. But it's a shaky alliance. I mean, how do you forgive somebody for killing your mom, right? And I don't know, Martin Freeman. I feel like his character, like I don't know, like they could have done more with his character. I mean, I like him as an actor. I like his character in the comic books too. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. Like I just felt like he could have, like he was just kind of there. At least in the first movie, he had more. So if they bring him back in the next movie, hopefully they make him a bigger part. Because I don't want it to just be like, oh, the token white guy. I mean, I don't know if that's what they're going for. I mean, that can definitely one could definitely draw that conclusion. But I think that it would be nice to see more interaction with other characters too. I mean, Bucky lived there in Wakanda for a while, and when they did the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show, you saw the I cannot say the name. The bodyguards of Black Panther came and they interacted with them, and it would be nice to see. I mean, Bucky was living there for a while. It would be nice to see him actually come back on the show to interact, and maybe even some other characters. I guess some other street level characters. But I mean, Black Panther has some interesting villains. Um, there's some other characters I would like to see. I cannot remember. I used to read this comic book many years ago called The Crew, and it was about there was one guy who actually had stolen Black Panther suit and actually was running around using the technology to take revenge on some people. I think he was an ex-cop or something, but I thought he was a cool character. I think his name was Casper or Jasper. I can't remember. It was so long ago. But there's a lot of things that they can do even without T'Challa. But we do have T'Challa. I mean, if you, at the end of the movie, the credits, it was revealed that T'Challa had a son with Nakia, and that just kind of came out of nowhere. I knew there was going to be something at at the end of the credits because there usually is in these movies, but I wasn't expecting that. It just kind of like took me by surprise. They did a good job of keeping that secret. I mean, they did a really good job of keeping that secret because so I think that the movie it was really well, it was well balanced. Uh, I was expecting M'Baku to become the Black Panther. I was even expecting to Killmonger to show back up and have to become like a redeeming type of character or something. But I had to watch something on YouTube probably a few months ago where someone said, sometimes when stuff leaks out or people have these ideas, about Killmonger, kind of like serving as some kind of like mentor type of deal. And I guess that was kind of true in a way, but not, it wasn't really like he was trying to help Shuri, but I guess he came in and some of the things that he said to her just kind of like helped to drive the plot. But I think it's safe to say in the end she realized that she didn't really want to become this person like him. I thought they would have brought him back though because we never saw his body, even though he supposedly died in the last Black Panther movie. We never saw his body, so I always assumed that maybe they just locked him up somewhere. But so yeah, I enjoyed the movie, and I am waiting for my Namor Funko Pop action figure to come in from Amazon. I don't know what happened. It was supposed to come Monday, but it says there's something in my order. Something is going on with my order. It's just been delayed for whatever reason. God knows. Amazon get together. I've had some issues with Amazon, particularly over the last year, but that's a whole nother discussion. I just really want to talk about the movie. I enjoyed it. I think if you liked the first Black Panther movie, you would definitely like this one. So I would go and see it. Also, I would also like to recommend Black Adam. I liked Black Adam too. I mean, I really did. I mean, I'm a big fan of Aldous Hodge, and I thought, him being Hawkman was really interesting. I mean, that was something cool. I like Doctor Fate. Cyclone and Atom Smasher, yeah, they were cool. And The Rock. Now I was like, well, why didn't they just get a Middle Eastern person to play Black Adam? But if that had happened, we probably would still be waiting another 5 years or 10 years. Who knows? I mean, The Rock has star power, and he was able to get the movie greenlit. And also, I heard that he was another spoiler alert. If you haven't seen Black Adam, you don't want to know. This is time to go. All right. So I heard that he was also instrumental in getting Henry Cavill to come back as Superman. He's not even going to be in the Witcher anymore, which is gonna, that's a bummer. I mean, I'll still watch this show begrudgingly, and yeah, I enjoyed the movie though. I thought it was really good. I think it's odd that Superman would be working with Amanda Waller in any capacity. I mean, in the comic books right now, I think she's got Superboy wrapped around her fingers I guess she put the kryptonite in him or something. But Kal-El working with Amanda Waller, I don't know. She's got dirt on everybody, so who knows? But yeah, somebody brought that up, and it's an interesting point. And I said I was gonna take a break from buying video games, and man, I tell you, these video games are coming out. This is a time of the year where a lot of video games are coming out. Just I did cave in, and I bought Bayonetta for my Nintendo Switch. I want to do a review on that later, and I bought the Sonic Frontiers game for my Xbox Series S, and I want to do a review on that. Bayonetta is pretty cool. I liked it. There's definitely some performance things going on but it's nothing that's really takes away from the experience. I mean, from my, I mean, I played the game, and like I noticed when I was playing it, just I don't know, I guess the things that they had to do. But like I said, I don't want to give a review on that right now. I feel like I'm kind of getting in there. Sonic, that game is not polished. It needed to be delayed probably a few more months. I mean, I think it's okay so far. I mean, it's just like I'm kind of like I don't know if I should have got this game, but I don't know. I'm only like on the first part of the game, so but it's not. I also found it to be a little more difficult. Then I'm gonna give it a review. Ugh, I bought God of War for my PlayStation 5. I want to give a review on that. I've really been enjoying God of War. I mean, those games are always awesome. Even I know a lot of people didn't like God of War Ascension for the PlayStation 3, I think it was. A lot of people didn't like that, but I enjoyed it. Um, but yeah, this game is I don't know if they went into the future and got technology, or they used magic, or aliens came and helped them. I mean, when they developed this game, I mean, it's pretty amazing. And I think I will probably be playing that game. It'll probably take me until the end of the year to finish it. I mean, I don't sit down and just like play games all the way through like some people like sit down for like 20 hours and just play the game all the way through on a weekend or whatever. I just don't have that much time, honestly. But I am enjoying the game. I think it's definitely, if you have a PlayStation console, it should definitely be in your library. I want to give a full review on that, and that's what I've been doing as far as the video gaming world goes. And as far as I talked about movie stuff, and let's see what else is there. I feel like there's something else that I left out. Some other stuff I want to talk about. Where I ended up doing a longer video than I planned, and I really just want to talk about Black Panther. But I will be back with another episode of Nerds with Badges, and probably sometime next week I'll do another episode and I'll do my review on God of War. And that's it for now for this episode of Nerds with Badges. And I'll be back probably in another week or so, and I might have company when I come back.